As I had promised previously, I will be continuing on with my reaction to another One Piece episode. I did, unfortunately, like I mentioned before, I did lose the footage to the earlier episodes that I reacted to. I reacted from like 158 to like 160, and I lost that. I recorded it, but like I never edited it. Like I recorded it videos, I didn't edit it, and eventually I just lost it. Probably because like Google, or not Google, Microsoft like probably automatically deleted it because it was a pretty big file. That's probably what happened, most likely. So just to keep up to speed, what happened previously was that Chopper is going to be sacrificed. Luffy is fighting Haki for the first time, which is kind of interesting because now that we know everything about everything that we know about Haki, we know that Haki is ridiculous. And that, like, honestly, I don't even know how he's ever even supposed to beat this guy. Like, he shouldn't be able to beat him. Like, yeah, it's Haki, and like it's like Luffy's just getting dog walked. Like he's getting dog walked. It's not even close. Like, and honestly, that's how it should be. I don't think that Luffy should win this fight. Like, I feel like if anything, he should have to avoid him. And then like the NL's like gets mad at him, and then like NL's like, you have fulfilled your role, and then he kills his subordinate because he failed to take out Luffy. That's typically how it works in it. That's typically how it works. The the head boss kills his henchman for failing to. Yo, that's a lit cliche. Oh god, but I don't know how he's gonna get through it. But we're gonna see how he's gonna get through it. 161, I meant 162. Sorry about that. Guys, look at how they're just getting. Oh wait, he's even using the dials too. I forgot about that. He's using like the impact dials. You know, I kind of wonder why are they like worshiping you now? Were they like, did they just like take over this island? 'Cause, like, that's that whistle. I think Chopper blew the whistle because he's about to get sacrificed. This is also kind of interesting. They did mention that like wasn't like Gunfall like the real god. I kind of wonder what God means like to them because it probably maybe it does mean like all powerful. Cause like it does seem like the people in the town were kind of worshiping him. Well, maybe they only like worship. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, so they really went to go investigate, and they went up to this guy. I forgot his name. Dang. So do they all have hockey? He said Enel's mantra doesn't reach this far. Do they all have hockey? There's no way. Cause that's four. That's like four people that have hockey. That's isn't that like because like if he's whistling, like I don't know how loud that whistle is, but like if he's whistling and like he blows a whistle, like he has to be able to hear that. Like the only way he can hear that is if like he has like observation hockey, and, like he has like his senses are like on a 10. Like that's the only way he can hear that. So he obviously has hockey. Inel has hockey. All of his subordinates, his three subordinates have hockey. That's like five. That's five people that have hockey. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous. There might even be more people. Dang. What do you mean by that? I mean, Luffy's done a lot of good things. I mean, for people to consider this guy a criminal, I mean, he's done a lot of good things. He ended debt slavery on Nami's island. You know, Nami was being extorted. He stopped Crocodile from taking over Alabasta and turning it into like a pirate safe haven. So basically what I'm getting at is like they were basically talking about Luffy, you know, his what he did. He was a criminal. He did all these things, and he's also always been a criminal in like his world. Because you know, he's a pirate, he goes against the law, he's not very legal. But then he also said that like it's not really that. But then Ganfall mentions like it's not really black and white, and that like it's actually a little bit more complicated than that. And I think that we even know that too, because like there was the whole thing with Alabasta where like they wanted to like cover up that like Luffy saved the entire continent. The Navy wanted to cover it up and say Smoker and tell Smoker to take all the credit for restoring rule of the monarchy. We even know of like government corruption like through like Nami's like on Nami's island. Like there was the whole the rat looking guy. He was extorting Nami, and he was working with Arlong. Arlong told him where to get Nami's money at because she was gonna buy her freedom, and she said, you can go take a piece of the money that she's collected that was gonna buy her people's freedom. You can go collect that money, and in turn you give me around like, you have like 40%, I take like 60%, or it was like 70% and 30%. Like you would think that like, the good people are usually, the good people, or who are good under legal standards, are on the right side, but typically it's not that simple. And he's saying that like the history of Sky Island is not as simple as that too, or like, it's not as simple as we're having fun, or we're in the sky, we're sky people, we're peaceful. When we first got onto Sky Island, there was like the guy who threw the rocket at them. I don't know who that guy was, but he mentions him as like a guerrilla. They're one of the guerrilla fighters that are fighting against Inaru. And honestly, they're probably fighting against Inaru because they want this, because the rulership got overthrown. Probably this god Gunfall, who says he was the previous god. He was probably like the person that they looked up to, and they probably want to send him back to the throne. Probably, even by civil standards. I mean, Luffy's done what the government should be doing. The government should have, liberated Kakacho Island from Arlong. The government should have liberated Alabasta and stopped the pirate haven, but they didn't. They failed. It was the people who broke the law that actually managed to do that. That's what he's talking about. It's very complicated, not as simple as it seems. So there was a 700-year war. 700 years. So maybe they don't actually want. Maybe they don't actually want like Gonfall to be God. They have maybe that's some other dream or some other goal in mind. Are they basically saying that like there was like peace in this place? There's peace here, but like there was just the fact that there was actual land there that like this caused the battle or something like that. Yo, I really want to know. I want to know more about these ancient weapons, because I have a feeling like maybe this ties into like the lore of these places. Some like ancient sky weapon, or like some ancient. I don't know. Well, One Piece doesn't really have gods, right? They shouldn't have gods, as far as we know. It's kind of crazy that they have a fox on clouds. Then again, Oda is one of the most creative writers I've ever seen in my entire life. Reindeers do not like the heat, right? Like, didn't Chopper like almost melt in Alabasta? He's also on the ship too. He's got to protect the ship. Yeah, Loki, that's plot armor. That ship should have been engulfed in flames. Also, what happened to him? Didn't he blow the whistle? That is crazy though. He kind of just started attacking him for like. He had no clue who he was. He just came in. He tried to spear him, burning the ship down. He said, "You're a sacrifice." Chopper's like 13 years old, 9 years old. Like, it's too much for him, man. Right, this ship is chalked, man. So he lost the mast. It was burned. It was already crumbling. Like, wasn't like Usopp like repairing the ship, or was repairing the ship in like Alabasta or something like that. No, he was repairing his ship when it got messed up by Bellamy. 30-foot bird Fuza. 30 feet. That's a big bird. Don't harm the ship. Don't harm his friends. Don't die. I don't want to die. I wonder what would happen if Zoro would have fought this guy. I mean, I don't think Zoro could touch him. He doesn't have Haki. Like, he's not going to touch him. And again, do they beat that guy? Or is there something else that comes in and saves him? Yeah, he has observation Haki. There's no way. There's no way he heard that. Like, I'm like 90% sure observation Haki, like, it improves like your senses. Like, that's kind of messed up, Zoro. You got all these things down here, like, they're scary. Nice fighting, though. Nice cuts. You don't want to lose yourself and your friends. You don't want to lose any of that. You want to live so much, then why are you so weak? There's always a speech like this in anime. It's like you don't want to lose anything. It's just so unrealistic. For another to live, someone must die. That's how life is. Hey, that's Luffy's philosophy. That's what he told Vivi. He was like, "You're expecting to save everybody, but not expecting to lose anything." This guy's closer to Luffy, you know. Maybe this guy should join the crew. Then again, he has like a faction. Then again, they're like in like some factional war against like some other people. So he probably has his own things he wants to attend to. Oh, so that means that like he can go after them if he wants to. Basically, it's not bound by the rules. So that means that in theory, like all the priests could come over here and just torch the ship. Oh, so like Chopper's not supposed to get killed yet, so that's probably why he hasn't killed him yet. He probably has to wait until like one of them dies at least. For example, when 3 of the sacrifices escaped to the forest over there without permission using vine. Ah, so like they had like this procedure, and it was like Luffy's supposed to clear these trials, and then you guys can go free. Honestly, I don't trust Enel to keep his word though. I don't think he would have let them go free. So I don't even think Chopper should even trip off of it. Enel was not gonna let them go free. Also, why did Nami take, Nami took the vines, right? Why did she even do, oh yeah, because she almost got eaten. Bro, she's crazy. Why would you even try that? You're insane, bro. I would never have taken those vines and tried to glide across. Dang. That's probably gonna spark too. Got body, man. I'm telling you, man. Them having hockey this early on is just ridiculous. They should not have hockey. I wonder if they know each other, because like he's the previous god, so they probably know each other. It is also interesting that like these guys all have like animals and stuff like that. It seems like birds, because like, you know, you see how they have wings. It seems like birds are to them like a ship is to a pirate. It's like extremely like vital and important to them. Dang, he's fast. Ooh. You should try to cut him and then cut him. And then he does the Rayleigh or the Luffy. He freaking booms him. How skilled? Wait. How old is this guy? I remember like did we already see the giants, Broggy and him? I remember the giants were like, no, that would have already happened, right? Yeah, that would have already happened. Like Broggy and them were like hundreds of years old. Like this guy looks pretty old, so like he could be anything. I don't even know. You understand how disrespectful it is for somebody to be like, ho ho. Like, this is not Christmas, man. Hey, that was a lit episode, you know. A lot of talking about, you know, what's going on in Sky Island, some issues. You know, insurgency, people not acknowledging the rulership. They must have a really big reason to be like rebelling against Inaru. Probably because Inaru probably like killed their people too. And probably the previous god was a lot more lenient. So that would make a lot more sense why, even if they were like a ragtag group, they probably became more popular when Inaru took power. Probably that's my assumption. Time out before I go. That guy really took it. He really took a hockey push to the chest. So that means that guy is pretty strong. Because like I've seen Luffy do that, and that puts out people. That puts out people. That guy, how strong? I think Oda's issue was that he didn't have hockey. He didn't have an idea of how strong he wanted hockey to be. So like us seeing that now, like that's ridiculous, bro. That he got up from that. Like that. I've seen Luffy put that's a one hair quitter when Luffy does it. Like, even against some pretty strong people, right? Like if he uses hockey. Maybe it's because they're relative, but like I don't know. I don't remember anybody else doing that hockey push and people just getting back up. That's insane. But I do think it was that Oda didn't have hockey down. He didn't have the system of how strong he wanted it to be. That's probably why. Like he got up so easily. Ball dragon. Oh, looks like the Chinese dragon. Surprise clouds containing explosions or sharp objects. So it's not even random at that point. Hey, that's a creative move. Don't punch it. That's a horrible idea. Please don't punch it. He was gonna punch it. That's a horrible plan. So they did run away. So they really ran away from this guy. I'm like, there's no way Luffy beats this guy and he has hockey. There's no way. If Luffy beat this guy with hockey, I would say he's a fraud. He really has a candy cane in his hand. He's controlling a dragon. That's creative, man. I'm telling you, that's creative character. So this must be like the rebel village. Kamakiri. Upper yard. That's birth in your bag, isn't it? And they have a more indigenous look to them. So like maybe like they were like the Olga thinks he can settle everything in Skypiea peacefully. They might have been the original inhabitants. Those are the only two outcomes of the battle. Have I heard that word before? Shandor? Have I heard that before? No matter who you have to fight, God Gunful or Inaru. So long as they reign as God, no matter what their differences are, they are the same. A rebel against Eneru appeared on Angel Island. I heard it's a young woman. Gunfall saved her from judgment. Eneru now has a reason to judge even the former god. Gunfall has never harmed any of us. Not only as a Sky Knight, but also as the former god. And if he and one of the priests kill each other, that would be great. Or do you mean to say that Gunfall is no longer our enemy? You know, my assumption is that like they're indigenous, and then like when the upper yard when it came to Sky Island, that like all these problems started coming about. I feel like it has to do with like their community was displaced or whatever. But who knows? So those guys are gonna help them get out, right? So I'm assuming. Does Gunfall have wings, or is he just jumping in the sky? He's gotta have wings, right? I no longer think I can negotiate with your group. You're as soft as ever. I feel like Gunfall was probably a lot more compliant. Like he wasn't as devastating. Where he was like just torching everything. I don't think he was like that. I would assume he's not like that. People seemingly have a lot more respect for him. Oh my god. Yo, imagine he dies. If that guy dies, that would be crazy. You can enter the upper yard, but you have to face difficult trials from us, the four priests. He's like the string ordeal, so maybe he's like controlling stuff. He really got messed up there, I'm not gonna lie. But this is One Piece, I already know like he's not gonna die. Like people do not die in One Piece. The only time people die in One Piece is during flashbacks. If it's not a flashback, they're not dying. Like 90% of the time. But I guess that is kind of what differentiates him from Luffy, is that like he may think the same way as Luffy, but Luffy cares a lot about character. This guy doesn't care about character. He only cares about strength and glory and all that other stuff. Luffy actually cares about character. You're gonna level up, Chopper? That is pretty scary. Even for a 9-year-old, I think I would be pretty scared. I was already scared of that Anaconda movie. Those giant snakes. You're a zone, aren't you? Are you stupid? You can't even swim. You're a zone too. How inconvenient. Oh, so that's actually a person? Oh, so maybe that's how like he can understand his parrot. Maybe that's actually not like, maybe that's actually not a no, but it said, didn't it say like a 30-foot tall like bird or something like that? So there's like a civilization here, because like, but like Robin's basically saying that like civilization couldn't estimate the growth of this tree. I've never seen a case like this before. My assumption is that like there was like some like civilization, but like because like there's a well there, like wells are for civilizations. So this had to be a place where people lived, at least, or giant trees in general. I mean, I guess it was sacred, so like people didn't like cut it down or anything like that. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Usopp has top tier durability. I'll give him that. Boat has nearly reached this forest exit. When that happens, it's all over. Yeah, so he can't even touch him. He's also kind of just toying with them. Like he's not even trying to like destroy them. If he wanted to destroy them, I felt like he could do it. He specifically said he wanted them to like pass out from exhaustion. Basically die of exhaustion. I mean, why can't he read my mind? Don't follow me. It was controlled by the string. Serious? He was controlling it by a string? That's actually insane. Is he gonna throw it at him? He does, no way. Bro, that guy is trash. Hey, he was also too overconfident. And if he loses from that, he's trash. I'll give him that. I'll give him that like cop out. If he loses from that, he's trash. If I can't stay calm over a little thing like this, it'll hinder my mantra. See, bro, Oda that foreshadowing. If I don't stay calm, I can't control it. Don't let go of him. It's amazing that you can predict our movements, but even if you can predict them, it doesn't mean anything if you can't avoid them, does it? Yeah, that is true. Not being judged by a priest is a first-degree crime. Alright, ignoring all this nonsense that this guy's talking about. Luffy only landed one blow. He landed one blow on this guy, and then he just grabbed him. So like, That kind of just shows how like ridiculously overpowered he was. He's gonna kick him on the head, and he really only made one mistake. Dang. Now you're done. You're done. All right, 2 episodes. Let's stop that right there. I'm getting back into the use. I'm getting back into the groove of things. I already have the other episodes. So I'll have those done. Like, I'll do probably one episode, at least one set of anime episodes a week. I want to start JJK because I want to see what this Culling Games is about. Because I see like that picture of like the advertisement for what it is. Like it has like the guy got the sword and Yuji on the ground. I want to see what that is. Because that kind of looks cool. There's no way that like Luffy should have been able to beat this guy, and he really didn't beat him. He only won because it was a 2-on-1. If it wasn't a 2-on-1, I don't think Luffy could have won. I don't think Luffy could have won if it was 1-on-1. It's kind of crazy. Why did Crocodile not have hockey? You mean tell me Crocodile doesn't have hockey? Yo, that guy is trash. That guy is so trash. There's no way Crocodile doesn't have hockey, and Satori does. So all the priests have hockey, and Gonfall has hockey, and Crocodile doesn't. I say that is complete. That is a plot hole. That is a plot hole. There should be no reason why Crocodile has hockey and this guy does. Anyways, like we see like the power of like what like Oda, but Oda already probably had the framework of how it was gonna work. He probably just didn't know how strong it was gonna be. Because he said there like I have to maintain my calmness, otherwise I can't use it. That was kind of like with the whole Katakuri situation, you know. Katakuri has to remain calm so he can use his observation haki. Luffy has to remain calm so he can use his observation haki. It's the same thing. Same thing, really. And then it allows you to see into the future, basically. So it's kind of lit to see that in action and to really see the story that Oda is building up, because he really had some bangers in there. But yeah, I'll be reacting to the next episodes. I'll definitely have at least one episode of anime, one set of anime a week. And we'll get back in the groove of things. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. Peace out. See ya.